Welcome to Veterans Views Podcast from the JED TV studios on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. Now here are your hosts, Connie Karras and Steve Bramer.
Good morning, everyone, and we are coming to you live from Hammond, Indiana. This is WJOB JED TV Veterans Views on this beautiful Friday, January 31st, 2025 morning. And I am your co-host, Connie Karras, and look who's back. Good morning, Steve Bramer.
I'm back.
How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I feel better than I did. That's a plus.
Good. You were out for the count for a while with some type of either virus or bacteria.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you're feeling better.
Lost 10 pounds. Not the way you want to lose it, but,
Right.
Look the bright side of everything.
Yes. Well, we're so glad to have you back, and we hope you stay well and your family stays well. So,
awesome.
Yes.
Good to be back.
Yes. And we have a wonderful show for you today. We are going to have 1st Congressional District Representative Frank J. Mrvan joining us around 9:30, at which time we'll open up the phone lines. And please call in if you have a question once Congressman Mrvan arrives. You can ask him a question, but also call in with your events. Any announcements, we want to hear from you. Anything you want to talk about that is not, of course, controversial, political, and religious. That's not the platform here. But at any rate, Congressman Mrvan will be joining us at 9:30. And I'm going to, right now, switch gears a little bit and talk about a couple of sad events that we want to offer our most heartfelt condolences to all the surviving families. We extend our most heartfelt condolences to Indiana State Representative for the 92nd District, Renee Turner Pack, and her family on the January 19th, 2025 passing of Representative Pack's beloved spouse of 20 and a half years, Sean F. Pack Sr. of Indianapolis. Sean was 59 years of age. Representative Pack, a U.S. Army veteran, serves as the chairwoman of the Indiana Military and Veterans Legislative Day, which is where Steve and I were a couple of weeks ago on January 14th. Our most heartfelt condolences to Representative Pack and her family. And a very sad situation to report. Shortly before 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, January 30th, 2025, Flight 5342, an inbound American Airlines PSA Airlines Bombardier CRJ 700 regional jet was on approach to Ronald Reagan Airport, located along the Potomac River, southwest of Washington, D.C. The jet collided with a Sikorsky Black Hawk Army helicopter that was in the jet's path as it approached for landing. 64 people were on board the plane, which departed from Wichita, Kansas. 3 soldiers were on the helicopter. All are presumed dead, as a very difficult recovery mission is in progress. The 3 Black Hawk crew members were from the Bravo Company 12th Aviation Battalion at Fort Beaver, an Army base in Virginia, which is about 14 miles away from the airport. And on a positive note, many of you may recall an event 16 years ago, this month on January 15th, 2019, that had a much better outcome, when Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger III, a U.S. Air Force veteran, expertly landed Boeing 737 MAX U.S. Airways Flight 1549 in the Potomac River after birds disabled both engines shortly after takeoff. Captain Sullenberger saved all 155 aboard. Our deepest condolences to the survivors of that horrible tragedy with the Black Hawk and jet airliner.
Yes. And we've reported in the past a lot of helicopter crashes, especially with the Osprey.
Yes.
But this one, they still don't know what happened. It doesn't, they don't know if it was mechanical or pilot error. But yeah, it's always sad, and it just, reinforces the fact that, just being in the military can be inherently dangerous.
Absolutely.
Even basic routine stuff can go wrong.
Yes, one need not be in combat to suffer. For instance, Captain Eric Hart, the Indiana State National Guardsman, who just passed last December due to a non-combat related incident that's under investigation. It's very dangerous to serve, whether at peacetime or in wartime, whether in a combat zone or not. And on that note, we want to again mention our wonderful co-host, Bobby Rockwell. Yes, out in the Middle East right now. He is on a temporary active duty that is going to last until September of this year. He has left his family. We are thinking of you. We are sending you our most warmest wishes and our prayers for a safe return. We can't wait till you return to the show, Rocky, and you're in our hearts, you're in our thoughts, and please keep everybody whose families are missing a loved one right now, because right now there are people on active duty serving for our enduring freedom, and we must never forget them. And let's be there for each other. Let's do our buddy checks. Please, let's just all be there for each other. And when people say they're okay, doesn't mean they are, right, Steve? And I'm a pea in that pod. Yes. And now, on this date, in memoriam, January 31st, there are two events I wanted to discuss. The first one being, on this date, January 31st, in 1944, the Battle of Kwajalein Atoll. And it lasted from January 31st to February 3rd, 1944. It was fought as part of the Pacific Campaign of World War II. And it was on the Kwajalein Atoll in the Marshall Islands in the south, and the island of Roe-Namur to the north, that today is a major part of the Ronald Reagan Ballistic Missile Defense Test Site, which hosts several radar systems used for tracking and characterizing missile reentry vehicles and their penetration aids.
Really?
Yes. Right now there's a military installation there in the Marshall Islands. This particular event employed hard-learned lessons of the Battle of Tarawa. The United States launched a successful twin assault on the main island of Kwajalein Atoll in the south and Roe-Namur in the north. The Japanese defenders put up resistance, although they were outnumbered and unprepared. And the determined defense of Roe-Namur left only 51 survivors of an original garrison of 3,500. 8,800 were killed.
I got one when you're done.
And we have the Tet Offensive, and then please, yes, absolutely. And I just want to mention the Tet Offensive. It was a major escalation and one of the largest military campaigns of the Vietnam War that encompassed 3 phases, from January 31st to September 23rd, 1968. The Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese People's Army of Vietnam launched a surprise attack in the very early morning hours of January 31st against the forces of the South Vietnamese Army of the Republic of Vietnam, the United States Armed Forces, and their allies. It was a campaign of surprise attacks that had civilian command and control centers throughout South Vietnam taken by quite surprise. And the name is the truncated version of the Lunar Vietnam Festival called Tet Nhuần Dan. At the time of the Tet Offensive, the majority of the American public perceived that the war was not being won by the United States and its allies, despite assurances from President Lyndon Johnson and military leaders that such was the case. No matter that the PAVN and the VC lost about 30,000 of their best troops in the fighting at Tet, they were capable of replacing those lost with recruits from North Vietnam. So, in 1969, the year after the Tet battles, the U.S. suffered 11,780 killed, the second highest annual toll in the war. This was a clear indication that the North Vietnamese were capable of ongoing offensive actions, despite their losses at Tet. Most Americans were tired of suffering so many casualties without evidence that they were going to stop any time in the foreseeable future, and Walter Cronkite, anchorman of the CBS News, argued for negotiations as an honorable way out in a special report based on his journalism in Vietnam, broadcast on CBS in March of 1968. This is the human toll of the Tet Offensive in both phases 1, 2, and 3. 75 100,000 plus killed and wounded, 111,179 casualties total, 45,267 killed, 61,267 wounded, 5,070 missing. And these are actually, and nobody knows the exact numbers, of course, of the lives lost. Those are estimations. But
wow.
Yes, and to make things worse, I was reading an article, Steve, that claimed that when our beloved Vietnam veterans who had gone through this horrible, horrible war came home, they weren't initially allowed to even join the VFWs or American Legions because those two organizations did not recognize the war as official, as a valid war, and they were further shunned. Now, of course, they're being welcomed with open arms and have been for decades, but they weren't for decades after the war.
Yeah.
So we want to say our most heartfelt appreciation for not only all veterans and all folks who have selflessly served in some capacity for our enduring freedom, but our beloved Vietnam veterans for what they have suffered and still are suffering. So
that's a lot of people. Oh,
that is a lot of people.
75,000 killed. That's astounding. So 20 years ago, yesterday, on January 30th of 2005, Iraq had their first elections. And that's when I was out there. And first we had to do the build-up for the elections. So what we did is we would take these big concrete barriers, and we were securing the polling sites. And we would make, like paths in where cars couldn't drive through and stuff like that, so that you could eliminate the car bomb threat, right? So then, come the day of the elections, we were the QRF for the Mosul area. And
could you say what QRF is for our audience?
Yeah, quick reaction force.
Okay.
Yeah. And good point. Yeah. And it was, at the time, I mean, we thought, oh my God, this is the first election this country is ever having. Like, this is amazing. The Iraqi people, they seem like they loved it,
And what year was it again?
2005.
2005. God,
yeah.
So recent.
20 years. I can't believe it's been 20 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, so we got two calls when we were QRF. And at the time, I had to carry the 240 Bravo. So we got into the Black Hawk. We started flying there. And we actually got there later than the Little Bird and the Apaches. So they just let the Little Bird and the Apaches engaged. And I got to see that firefight happen, which was, I don't want to say on here, but, that was an experience. Let's put it that way. That was an experience, but it's amazing when you look back and you're like, man, that was 20 years ago. Like, oh my God, I can't believe time has flown so much, Yeah. But, sometimes things work out, sometimes things don't, I don't know how they feel about those elections now, but, things change. I mean, they still have elections, so, I guess it's a good thing out there. I don't know. That's, I guess, a topic for another day.
That is. We will talk about that. That is a wonderful topic for another day. And if anybody out there has anything they want to talk about right now, give us a call, 219- 845-1100. Sorry, I didn't know you were drinking. 219. I'm not trying to choke you there, Steve. 219-845-1100. So I want to get back, if I may, to Be the One. I want to talk about this. I'm going to discuss this at the next District 1, American Legion District 1 meeting, because I didn't even know that we had this program.
I've never heard of it.
I never heard it. Right. You know how I learned of it? I was Googling our national commander to see any kind of statement going into the new year, because usually they make it, our commander will make a public proclamation, a statement going forward, wishing the new president luck and let's all come together, right? Yeah. And carry out the mission of the Legion. And in doing so, I came across this outreach program of the Legion because it's something that was pushed to quite a bit by the last commander. And this new commander has stated that the number one issue affecting our veteran community, even though there are a lot of very pressing crises going on, is suicide. And what's wonderful about this program is I looked it over. It's actually a wonderful collaboration with Columbia University. They use their training. It's called the Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale to determine at-risk individuals. And what's so wonderful about it is it's not just open to the Legion members and our families. It's open to everybody because everybody's affected by suicide and everybody needs to come together to prevent it. Everybody. This isn't just something that's involving veterans. It's involving, of course, everyone. But everybody needs to come together, whether a veteran or not, because everybody who is a veteran is involved with someone who isn't. So we're all connected. And I actually signed up for the first class that I could attend. It's on February 4th, 2025. It's online. It's from 4:30 p.m. to 6 East Central Standard Time, 4:30 to 6. So it's an hour and a half long class, okay? But I'm really excited about it. I'm sure they're going to cover a lot of very interesting things. Now, if you want to register, again, you don't have to be a Legion member. Go to www.legion.org/B-the-1. Again, that's www.legion.org/B-the-1. If you don't remember Be the One, just go to www.legion.org. The registration link is actually on the homepage of our National Legion website. And it's wonderful. It identifies risk factors, warning signs, outlines types of suicidal ideation, 4 behaviors that indicate imminent risk, and it teaches you how to communicate effectively with an individual who may be at risk of hurting themselves. And that's an uncomfortable thing for all of us. And the other thing is the signs are so subtle sometimes. This will teach us how to delve a little deeper and see what those signs are because we overlook it. And oftentimes we don't want to see those signs in our loved ones and our friends or ourselves. So the next online class, this is a Zoom online virtual tutorial is on February 4th. And if you can't make that one, there's one on February 19th as well. And that one's in the afternoon from 1:30 to 3 o'clock Central Time. So go online, www.legion.org. And I'm going to talk about this at the District 1 Legion meeting. I've downloaded some very easily printable materials, and we're being called on to have seminars and bring people in from the community at our posts.
That's interesting.
So, yeah.
You know, it's I had to have a talk with my kids not too long ago about it because the schools are educating the kids more on different things. So when my daughters come home and they ask questions, I feel like I have to expand on them. And one of them was about suicide and, hurting yourself and stuff like that. And I explained to my daughters that, everything, it can always get better. You don't want to ever put yourself in a position where you feel like you're alone. And I feel like that's a big part of like when you're a veteran, or at least in my instance, my PTSD is I isolate, I mean, when I'm just not in the mood, I'm not in the mood. I mean, if I don't want to talk to nobody, right, you're not going to make me, Sure. And it's hard to get out of that. It's hard to snap yourself out of that. So I don't know. I don't know how they tackle this issue because, I mean, man, this issue's we've been talking about this for 15 years now. And it's getting worse. It is getting worse.
That's the alarming thing. There's more consciousness about it, more outreach than ever. But it is getting worse, as is the substance abuse problem as well. And what I found absolutely shocking was our last commander, American Legion commander, he said when he went before the Veterans Affairs Commission last year that veterans are 50% more at risk than the general population to take their lives.
50%?
50. 50. 50.
That's a lot.
And the suicide is bad enough within the general population to begin with.
Yeah.
But also that more veterans have been lost than the number of casualties, the numbers of deaths, the number of deaths in the Vietnam War, Korean War, and the Persian Gulf War theaters, and the global wars on terror combined.
Oh.
Just think about that.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah. So that's
staggering.
Absolutely staggering. And so the war within is a serious problem. And we need legislation legislation to increase our quality of life, veterans' quality of life, access to services. And there are some good things that have happened with regard to legislation. And when we have Congressman Mrvan come on around 9:30, he should be here very soon. It's 9:31. We can talk about some of those things that are in the works, some of that pending legislation. But yes, it's a very serious problem. And with regard to contacting your Congress folks, your congressional representatives, and your state representatives, very important to do that and let them know what's going on. It's very simple to do that. You can even get text and email updates on pending legislation. You can sign up for them very easily. You go to www.congress.gov, and it's very simple. That homepage, go all the way to the bottom. You see ways to connect. Choose that and then you'll go to another page. It says, and then you choose get email alerts and updates. Very simple to do. Just go to www.congress.gov. And with regard to your Indiana state legislators, go to the Indiana General Assembly website, iga.in.gov. And you can also go to a drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner, and you'll see Find Your Legislator. Let them know what's on your mind. And now we see that Congressman Mrvan has joined us. Good morning, sir. How are you? Please, have a seat. Thank you for coming in today in your busy schedule. Happy New Year. Did you take a canoe or a kayak in today? It's very rainy.
Yeah, I saw two animals in pairs walking down Indianapolis Boulevard. I didn't know what Jim was doing here.
Oh, at any rate.
Yes.
So, yes.
Thank you for having me here on Veteran Affairs. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Yes.
I mean, it's always a pleasure to have you in. So, how's it going? How's your new year?
The new year is good. We are, obviously we're home this week, and so we're in district meeting with a lot of different organizations, a lot of nonprofits, making sure we connect, not only on a human level, but what is the current status of current affairs for our nonprofits that are stakeholders here in Northwest Indiana that take care of a lot of our vulnerable our vulnerable populations. And so through the new year, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Something that is new for me is that we are now on the Appropriations Committee in Washington, D.C. So what that means is there's about 70 individuals, I would say 36 from about 60, 36 from the Republican Party and 24 from the Democratic Party who are on this select committee, and it determines where all the funding goes throughout the entire nation. And so within the Appropriations Committee, Congressman Visklowski, if we remember, who served for 36 years, was able to make his way to Chairman of Appropriations for Defense. And that was a very powerful position. It had about a 1.2 or close to $1.2 trillion spend, and it had everything to do with our defense, from our ships to our tanks, and that position correlates or works hand in hand with our steel industry and works with Northwest Indiana and domestic manufacturing. And so we are honored to be on that committee. And the two subcommittees that I'm on is, the first one is Commerce, Science, and Justice. The Commerce side is Economic Development, meaning for Hammond, East Chicago, Gary, Maryville, Michigan City, Portage, all of these communities within Northwest Indiana, and I just name a few, as they are developing their downtowns, as they are developing new economic development. The mayor of Gary and his administration, as he's revitalizing areas, our responsibility will be able to guide him down that path and find federal funding that could be a partner with him. The science side of that is also NASA and our National Science technologies and cybersecurity, so the funding for that. And then the justice is the FBI, the ATF, and the DEA, along with the Department of Justice and their funding. And so what that will tie into for our area is local law enforcement and public safety grants that we'll be able to bring back. And we're also, our second subcommittee is energy and water. I know this is a lot, and I'm learning very quickly, but is energy and water, which holds the energy side, holds the nuclear arsenal, so it ties into defense.
Oh, wow.
So the funding, the Secretary of Defense and all of that will fall under that umbrella. And then energy, of course, making sure our grid is safe and that we have energy going forward. And for our region, selfishly, why I fought very hard to be on that subcommittee is because the hydrogen hub in Whiting at BP, which we fought for, which is part of the infrastructure bill, it will create thousands of construction jobs of trades, good union jobs, good paying jobs, and many contractors will benefit. Our economies will benefit, and it'll be a cleaner energy. That hydrogen hub goes through the Department of Energy. So we have a great deal of learning to go on, and obviously with the new administration, there's a fast, quick push towards a lot of different things, and we have just been moving at light speed, and the saying is drinking out of a fire hose and trying to keep up and learn as much as we can about our new position, stay connected with Northwest Indiana, which is my job, and make sure that I'm a good husband, good father, good son. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
How are you guys? More importantly.
Good.
Steve, how are you?
Good. I'm okay. I'm doing better now.
Yes.
I had pneumonia for a couple weeks. So
Yeah, there's all kinds of things going around.
That knocked me down for a couple weeks, but doing better now.
Good.
Voice is getting there, but
How about your air?
yeah, it's doing better.
Okay.
Doing better.
Yeah.
The only bad part is when I lay down.
Okay.
That's when I cough.
Gurgle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, when it first happened, it sounded like my throat was fizzing when I was breathing. It
Right.
was so bad.
Well, I'm glad you're better.
Doing better.
Everyone else in the house is good?
Yeah.
Very good. How about yourself, Connie?
Doing well. Doing well. Looking forward to a new year and having us all stick together. That's
Right.
what we need to do.
That is correct.
We have to come together and stick together and make the best.
Full on board on
yes,
that.
absolutely.
I
Full steam
firmly
ahead.
believe that in this thought, being reflective is that we are a nation of laws. There's an appetite, which I learned in Northwest Indiana last November, that people want to see people working together in order to solve solutions. And just recently I came up with the thought process, which I'm going to say quite often, is we can create work and wealth as a nation, and we can also take care of our most vulnerable people, and we can come together for great things. And so I'm going to continue to try and be a steady voice and be a bridge builder, as I was as a township trustee, as my father was as a state senator. And that is, I think, the avenue towards success for all of Northwest Indiana.
Yes.
And
Nice.
veterans.
Absolutely. Well, I was looking at some of the other task forces and caucuses that you serve on. I had no idea that you are such a busy person. Unbelievable what
Connie,
you're...
I'm not as busy as you. Weren't you in Indianapolis earlier this morning?
I was in Indianapolis on January 14th, and then 2 days ago
Yes.
I actually attended the
You're a
state
wonderful advocate.
Veterans Affairs
Yes.
hearing, Veterans of Military Affairs Committee hearing. We're all in this together. We're
That
all
is
in this
correct.
together, and till I take my dying breath, I'm going to do what I can to have us all come together for the greater good. And it was worth it going down there. Although before you arrived, I did announce a very sad thing. Representative Renee Pack of the 92nd District, her husband Sean passed away suddenly, and that was part of the reason that I went down to the Veterans Affairs Committee hearing to also attend the wake, which I was not able to attend because I couldn't find my car in the parking garage, so I missed the wake. But my heart was there. But I think you're just amazing. What you're all these things that you are also on the Career and Technical Education Caucus, Congressional Legal Rights Amendment Caucus, Congressional Fire Services, Equality, Hellenic. I'm Greek, labor, law enforcement.
That was not a choice, by the way. They named me, and they said, you may want to join
I see.
the Hellenic
Okay.
Caucus.
Well,
That was not a choice.
Serbian, Slovak, Macedonian. It just never ends. And then you're also, I'd like to say thank you for being on the task force to end sexual violence. And you're also on the Great Lakes Task Force. Because as you know, and we've discussed previously on the show, that MST is something that is very important right now. Our current American Legion National Commander, James A. LaCourcier Jr., called on, he has a legislative platform, and one of those things is to raise awareness, education, outreach programs for those filing MST and rape cases within the military, and we're now finally getting them out of the chain of command, which is helping. But I wanted to ask...
Oh, that was a big step.
That was a huge step.
May I just add something?
Yes, please do.
Obviously, you had brought that up. It is extremely important to me as a township trustee. It was one of my forefront issues about protecting children from sexual harm, and we were able to put a No More Secrets program together. When that developed and we were able to bring the community together and we were able to pass a state law with my father and Representative Olthoff and Governor Holcomb, making an impact in the community, I was able to live through that experience. And as a freshman member of Congress on Veteran Affairs, I was able to pass a piece of legislation that was the Bipartisan Dignity for Military Sexual Trauma Survivors Law. So that is a law of the land throughout the nation. And what that does is it made sure that the VA, the Veteran Affairs, had a professional board of individuals who were qualified, either social work or psychology or therapists, in the room or part of the process of individuals who had claimed military sexual trauma, so that they were taken care of in a dignity way. And it was a recognition. And so this is a issue that I have been on the forefront of. And how it started, and all of that is dressing. How it started was on Holman Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. I was a member of Congress for 2 minutes, and I spoke to the VFW. They hold their meeting there, right?
Yeah.
And it was probably about 200-300 people. And a female veteran came up to me and grabbed me by the arm and said, if you could do anything. People didn't believe me. I've had trauma my entire life. Try and make a difference. And so right here in Hammond, Indiana, it was a veteran who kind of shook me and said, you've got to do something because it goes unreported. What you're talking about, and people in the military understand, people who are not in the military, if someone goes to their commanding officer, sometimes that commanding officer will bury because of the paperwork or because of whatever reason.
Oftentimes,
so
yes.
That law that makes sure that it doesn't go directly to your commanding officer, it goes to, I believe, a policy board when someone, man or woman, comes forward with a military sexual trauma case. And so we are making everything possible to address that issue, but it all started by one veteran just basically saying, please do something for me in Hammond.
I did not know that story.
That's awesome, because I didn't know that either, and I know that law you're talking about, and that's a huge law. That is, it gives presumption to, MST, and before that, you have to prove it, and it's how how do you prove it? It's impossible sometimes.
Yes,
we have 2 callers.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Go ahead, caller. Good morning. You're on Veterans Views.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good
That's
morning.
a comforting voice.
Yes.
When I hear that voice, it reminds me of like my whoopee when I was a toddler, my little blanket.
Anyway, I have 3 quick comments. I know you got a busy show.
Only 3?
Only 3, and they're going to be brief. One for Connie, one for Steve, and one for the greatest congressman I ever worked with in my life. And I go back to Ray J. Madden, 1971. Anyway, having said that...
He's lied. He goes way before that.
Well, yeah, 1910, to tell the truth. Anyway, for Connie, no mail. And I want to invite you to attend our American Legion Hammond Victory Post 168 monthly meeting, Tuesday, February 4th at 6 p.m. And Steve, my New Year's resolution is not to pick on Steve Bramer this year.
Well, thanks.
And I'm on a roll here. And Congressman Mrvan, first question is, we've had a change at the top of the helm and a new appointee for the new position. It doesn't come to mind right now for the military.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the Department of Veterans? No,
Department of Defense. The
Department
Defense
of
Secretary,
Defense.
right?
Now, for you, Congressman, and then I want to thank you, and then I'll hang up. Are you still retaining your position on the Veterans Affairs Committee in Washington?
Great question, Ernie.
Because you've been on that committee since day one, man.
Correct. The Appropriations Committee, and you'll have to follow me through this entire explanation. The Appropriations Committee is a select committee, so you can only be on one, and then you're on two subcommittees that take up a great deal of time. So every penny that is spent, or what the government or the Congress, with the power of the purse, prioritizes and works in conjunction with or negotiations with the administration, they determine where we're spending money. So that to be said, Ernie, I do have to give up my Education and Labor Committee and Veteran Affairs. But the good news is that Veteran Affairs, the VA, all have to go through the Appropriations Committee. So there's an authorizing side, meaning the authorizing side on the VA, to put very simple, when I'm on the Veterans Committee, I'm able to put laws together, like I talked about, the military, the bipartisan dignity for military sexual trauma law. You're able to put that in place. And on the appropriation side, you're able to find funding for it. So it is vitally important.
Okay.
So as you talk about the new administration, their theme has been to cut. And we just passed the Honor the Pact Act. Mm-hmm. So what my job is through Appropriations Committee to make sure that there's funding, because within Northwest Indiana, there's 4,685 individuals who are taking care of the Honor the Pact Act. And I don't want to go off the rails, but what people need to know about Honor the Pact Act that I need to hammer away, not only if you have exposures in Afghanistan, in Iraq, but even in Vietnam or World War II, there's a large amount of things that can increase your disability. But if you get to 100% of disability, your spouse is now covered.
Yeah.
And people need to be aware of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. And so making sure that the Honor the Pact Act and the VA is funded adequately to be able to do their jobs efficiently, to provide the benefits to the veterans, is my new role and my new responsibility. So I will be in the committee room when the Department of Defense and the Veteran Affairs Secretary comes to us as a group and says, this is our budget, this is our priority. I get to ask questions about the Anna Benjamin Center, or transportation, or veterans who want to be able to be housed at home with dignity instead of going anywhere else, and making sure that the Honor the Pact Act is fully funded. So it is a shift in responsibility, but still have under the umbrella my wheelhouse of veteran affairs.
And your heart hasn't changed with dedication to our beloved veterans one bit.
Right.
So
Thank you.
That's what matters.
And putting it in your words, Ernie, from the 70s, it's a little bit of a drag that I have to give up the committees, but I still have oversight of spending.
Which is big.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's half of the battle, is finding the money for these things.
Yes.
Well, let me just interrupt, because I'll let you guys go. But the best part of any speech, or that anyone that's talking said, is in conclusion, because that's so I'm going to leave it with a comment about your dad. In 1999, when he got elected second time as a state senator, and he was a councilman at large in Hammond, and I had the honor to replace him in a caucus as a councilman at large in Hammond, and then went on and got reelected to that. And your father and your family and Gene and everybody's done such a wonderful job, Frank. And I'll leave the conversation by saying, again, you have done such a great job as a trustee, and they've carried on all the projects. I think I've helped you with a lot of them when you were trustee at Wicker Park, and a lot of those programs you put together for veterans. Trustee Santos has kept those programs going forward. So thank you so much for what you're doing, and God bless you and your family. And Connie or Steve, if there's nothing else, I'll say toodaloo.
Thank you, Ernie. Thanks, you for the phone call.
Commander Dillon, thank you for your service and your to our enduring freedom. God bless. Thank you for calling. Come in on the show. We miss you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. God bless us all. Fly your flag.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fly that flag.
Do we have any more?
Another caller? Is the caller still there?
I just want to add real quick,
Yes, sir.
Trustee
Yes, sir.
Santos.
One moment.
Something that we were able, that he has carried on, and I think is vitally important, is the Commander Roundtable. That they have meetings once a month, and they also created a non-for-profit that they're able to. I know that they did. I believe at Strachan Van Til's they did $1. When you tip over or whatever that's called, where they offer if
round
you want to round it up.
Yeah, round it up.
And so that nonprofit, what people have to understand is these are veterans helping veterans, and veterans helping our community with all these different organizations, the VFW, the American Legion, the DAV. All of those individuals and groups are trying to help not only their peers, but the community. And so I just tip my hat to Kelly and Trustee Santos for having the wherewithal to make sure that continues, because it has a great impact in our community. And we work with them hand in hand, and whatever the trustee may need in the future or has in the past, we are always are there for him because of where his heart is for veterans.
Absolutely. And as Steve knows, I am so grateful to have been invited recently to be a member of the Roundtable. The next meeting is February 5th at 12:30 at Wicker Park Social Center. And that is a wonderful opportunity. I'm grateful to be included in that, and I hope you can go. I hope you're feeling well at that time. But I can't say enough also wonderful things about Kelly and Trustee Santos. Caller? Is the caller there? Good morning.
Connie, you there?
Yes. Joe Payonk, Hobart's Legion officer. How are you, sir, this morning? Semper Fi, Marine.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
Going to you and Steve and to the Congressman and stuff like that, Just want to let you know that, I was one of them that went down with you and Steve when we went down to Indianapolis, and that was something I'll never forget for my first time and stuff like that. Let me tell you, other than fighting a snowstorm on the way down, that was something, but, the experience was really something, let me tell you,
Yes, it was whiteout conditions, actually, and a huge kudos to the bus driver, again, Lee, of M&M Limo and Bus Services. I can't say enough about this man. That was that bus driver's last excursion. He then retired after 29 and a half years on the job. And we thank him. He got us there safely and back. And Joey, sir, we appreciate you going down there, and we appreciate you helping make that chartered bus possible. Yes, and you really you exemplify once a Marine, always a Marine. And do you have any questions for Congressman Mrvan this morning?
Yeah, I do. That's what I'm calling.
There's Lee. Kemper just showed Lee, the bus driver.
Yes.
You want to show Lee again?
Here's to the bus driver.
Here's to that bus driver. Those were very, very bad condition. There he is before we took off from Wicker Memorial Park in Highland. And there we are. And there we are on the bus. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Lieutenant Colonel Arthurine Jones provided the U.S. colors that were the flags that were waving, and that was right as we were departing. It was very cold that evening, and as you can see in the lower left corner, there's a woman in a khaki jacket with a hood. That is Aiken. She is a 93 years young Korean War veteran. She got on that bus in the frigid cold weather, and she was waving that flag the entire time of the ceremony that we had. Didn't complain one bit, and we sang her happy birthday at the State House. So it was beautiful. Yes. So.
Can I ask?
Yes, Joey. Absolutely.
Yes. Congressman, I don't know if you can look into this and that for me, but back 2 months ago on Election Day, I was sent for a VES, a Veterans Evaluation Services exam, okay? Sent me to Munster, and for the most part, everything went well. Even the doctor told me that she thought everything went well, stuff like, and I waited, and they told me that I should have something, hopefully something, like before Christmas. I haven't heard nothing. When I called the first of this month in January and stuff like that, nobody seems to know where my claim went to and stuff like that. It left the doctor's office, faxed down, and now it's like it's in the missing thing like that, And I was wondering, it's not that hard of a thing. I got a exam by a doctor, and it should go to the VA and come up with a decision, as far as I know, and stuff like that. And now nobody knows where my claim is at.
Well, I'm sorry that you're going through that, and what we can do is I have staff that manages Veteran Affairs issue, and if you have a pen, I can give you. His name is Tom, and the phone number for the office is 219-795-1844. And how the process will work is he'll take the information down, then he'll ask you to fax over or electronically sign basically a permission slip, or the ability for us to work on your behalf to ask those questions, and then from my office he will do an inquiry on where that status is, and then we will get back to you in a timely fashion. And usually we're able to get some results and get you answers. So this is something that we do every single day. It's our casework, which is probably the most important thing we do in Congress, which I think I should tell everyone. If you do have a case, if you know someone who's looking for medals or files, or you have some sort of issue on the Veteran Affairs side, please contact my office. And again, that phone number is 219-795-1844. Anyone can help you, Greg, Tom, or Mary, but Tom specializes in Veteran Affairs issues.
Mr. Tom Kubin is my caseworker and stuff like that. So I've you guys have already helped me and stuff like that. So I've been in contact with Tom, but not about this situation recently. I was just wondering, since you were coming on, I thought I'd ask, what do you do when all of a sudden something said that it was sent, and then all of a sudden they can't find it and stuff like that. I don't have to go through this all over again.
Right.
That's my thing.
In our role as a member of Congress is to make things seamless to the best of our ability, and to make sure that we ask questions and have oversight and do those types of cases. So please contact Tom, and I will make sure I'm sure someone from my office is listening where we can let him know, and then he could follow up also.
Okay, will do. Okay, thank you, Congressman. You met me before when you came over to DAV 102 in Valparaiso. I'm the disabled Marine that I was a service officer, and we met, we talked, and I've been to your office and stuff like that. So you know who I am. So,
yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, I thank you very much for your phone call and for your service, and we'll make sure that you and Tom connect and we move forward.
Okay. All right, thanks. Have a nice weekend, and thank you for what you guys do. Thank you very much for what you do for the veterans. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joey.
Right.
Joe, thank you for your selfless sacrifice for our enduring freedom. Semper Fi, Marine. We'll see you soon.
I told you that.
Yes.
TEAM. There's no I in team. TEAM. Teamwork. That's what it's all about. Okay.
Take care, my friend.
All right. God bless. Have a good day.
Kisses to Quincy. That's his dog.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very quickly. We
got 10 minutes left.
We have 10 minutes left.
Okay.
I just want to get some events in here. Steve, would you like to do the honors?
Sure.
And speaking of the North Township trustee, Adrian Santos, and the Wicker Park Memorial Fund, we have a wonderful coffee social coming up. Here you are, sir. Excuse me, Congressman.
All right. So I got one. There's a flag line honors for a U.S. Army combat medic. His name's so I have Dale Doc ready. The flag line is going to be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tomorrow, February 1st, at Burns Funeral Home, 10101 at Broadway in Crown Point. The family arrival will be at 10 a.m. Visitation will be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the military honors will be at 2 p.m. So if anybody is available for a flag line, please attend. We also have the Vet and Friends Coffee Social, which is going to be February 11th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Coffee Social is designed to help bring veterans and their families together and establish meaningful connections through camaraderie and resource sharing. Female Veteran Coffee Social will be at the Veterans Cafe and Catering, 7805 Taft Street in Maryville. First Wednesday of every month from 9 to 11. Back the Brave Ride, Sunday, September 14th, 2025. Registration starts at 10 a.m. Wow, that's far off. That's going to be $20 per bike. It's for American Legion Riders, Chapter 697 from Lansing. Then Veterans Cafe and Catering. That's Thursday and Sunday from 7:30 to 5 p.m. 7805 Taft Street. And then the AVMRA Chapter 16, Meet and Sing. Meet and Sing. What is that? Is that...
Amber's very creative.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, right? So what are they cooking, like steaks and stuff?
They must be doing karaoke and then meat. They're cooking meat cook-off.
Meat cook-off.
So it's a competition.
Yeah. So that's going to be February 8th from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at 203 South Washington Street in Wanata.
Wonderful, thank you, and thank you for those events, telling us about those events. And one very important thing, Kemper, could you please show that wonderful photograph that we have of the D8? There we go. This was last, I believe, Tuesday. I think it was January 23rd. This was a wonderful event. Silouan Green, as many of you may be familiar with, he has the Ladder Up program. He's a Marine that has written a book and has a program called the Ladder Up. Well, he and several DAV members, DAV officers that you see there in that photograph there. One is to include on the far right, Bob Carnegie, the former DAV state
you know
commander.
him?
Yes,
Yes,
we all
I
know.
do.
Yes, and there are several there. Glenn Johnson, and then we have we just have several of Butch Fortner. I can't see from the photograph, but this was at the St. John Township Community Center, and they have a wonderful DAV Connection event. It was a workshop to train the DAV commanders in Silouan Green's Ladder Up program. And this is a wonderful, wonderful program. Silouan has dedicated his life to enriching and saving lives, and he was actually the guest speaker, as you recall. You were both there, actually, at the All Veterans DAV event tribute to all veterans at the Hard Rock Casino recently last year. And we just wanted to say a thank you to all of those DAV folks and to Silouan, and the DAVs will be actually reaching out. This is a similar program for the DAV as the Be the One is for the American Legion that we were talking about before Congressman Mrvan arrived. So thank you to those folks and to Silouan for reaching out to us locally here in Northwest Indiana. And Silouan, of course, is a Northwest Indiana native. So this is his area, but he's helped people internationally, not just locally. And I want to present you, sir, with a thank you card from the First Unitarian Church of Hobart, where I used to be the Faith in Action Committee chair many years ago, over a decade ago. And this is a thank you from many of the members there for all that you have done for all of us. And I signed it as well. I wanted to give it to you in person. They were going to mail it to you at first, which is why it's in an envelope. And since I said that sometimes you come on the radio show, I'd like to give it to you in person. So
thank you very much.
Thank you so much for everything.
Please thank everyone from the church for
will.
their spirituality and their activism of caring for people.
Yeah.
And I just want to close by very concisely saying that we talked about the transition of the new administration, and for veterans, because that is what this radio show is all about, and protecting veterans and making sure we look out for each other. There's going to be a lot of information that's coming at us in a lot of different directions. And so my goal is to be a steady hand and to make sure that the funding exists, to make sure that you receive the benefits that you were promised, and to continue to be an advocate. And as a member of the Appropriations Committee, that's what I will do. I will make sure that prioritizing the programs that are successful, efficient, effective within Northwest Indiana is something I am going to fight for, advocate for, and make sure that we focus on. And so my only message is I'm going to do my best to create certainty so that an individual veteran who's sitting at home wondering about this program, suicide prevention, or their GI Bill, or their medical benefits, or their disability, as through all these communications, I'm going to continue to show up and be part of this radio show so that people understand what is going on and what we're doing to make sure that we preserve those benefits. And so my job is to create certainty and clarity. And I understand, even myself, through these last couple of weeks have been like, what does this mean? But ultimately, what I want everyone to know is that we will move forward as a nation together, finding common ground, as I opened up with making sure we create work and wealth, protect our veterans, our most vulnerable populations, and then also focus on being a nation that comes together. And so if we could do that, I think we'll be better off. And I'm honored to be here with you today. You say you go to Indianapolis. I need you guys to come to Washington, D.C. one day. We can even maybe set it up where you remotely do a show. And I would love to have you out and just show you the different things of how the things operate, just like you do when you go to Indianapolis. And I would love that opportunity. And I always say, but I'm very serious, I only have a lifespan of 2 years because anything can happen. And so please take advantage of that. And if you can come out, I'd love to have you.
Who should we talk to?
Yeah, that'd be
Drew?
awesome.
You're going to talk to Renee, who's here now, and she'll maybe leave a card. But we'd love to have you out. Even if you shot some videos and walked around, and maybe we can coincide it with a committee hearing that is specific to Veteran Affairs. When
that'd be awesome.
Secretary,
that'd be awesome.
The Secretary of Veteran Affairs comes out, and we're talking about budgets. I don't know how much time we'll spend, but we'll carve out 30 minutes, and we'll make sure the staff shows you a wonderful time and the patriotism that, and for you to be able to see people working together. I think that'll be important.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. Just going to Indianapolis was a big, not eye opener, but to see the government working. It's a whole. It's different. Let's put it that way. It's very different. So
I understand.
All right, cool. So last call. Everybody have a good weekend. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much, Steve. I greatly appreciate it. Please tell you, I hope you're feeling better. Tell your family we said hello, Connie. Thank you for your advocacy and most importantly, being everywhere all of the time. It's important. So I appreciate it.
You know that better than anyone.
Yes.
Thank you so much, 1st Congressional District Congressman Frank J. Mrvan, for coming in today. And everybody, have a wonderful day. And remember, be there for each other, buddy check. We're all on this together. Don't let anything divide us. Be kind above all. And the United States of America may not be perfect, but it's the United States of America. Let's make that ring true. God bless America, everybody. See you next week.
Hoorah.
You've been listening to Veterans Views podcast from the Jed TV studios on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. Thank you for listening.